All right, all right. We have today some really cool guests with us. I'm super happy to host people of Maha. We have the lovely Bia, Alex, and Mila. And today we're going to talk a little bit about music and the Bulgarian underground scene and generally worldwide as well, right? So, ladies, welcome.
Hi,
Hi,
thank you for
thanks.
having us.
Hello.
So we're gonna start with like the most basic of all questions. Tell us, how did you guys decide on the name People of Maha? It's definitely something I haven't heard. Why don't you enlighten us?
Yeah, so initially we were actually called Gentlemen, which we found it funny since we are an all-female band, right? But that's a very common name. There is another band called Gentlemen in Bulgaria, The Gentlemen. There is also so many things online. We're like, okay, we need a more unique name. So before we release any songs, we decide, okay, we need to change it now before we put anything out. And we started discussing what could it be. And we landed on the word Maha. So this word has different meanings in different languages. And we find that music in general means different things to different people. So it's a very subjective experience. So we thought that it could be really cool because it means light in one, I don't know if it's Sanskrit or Hindi, and then means greatness in something else. In Portuguese, which is my native language, it means swag. And then in Bulgarian, I'm being told it means like wave and that kind of stuff. So we're like, oh, it's pretty cool. So it does have like different meanings. And so we started working around that word, Maha, and then we just had a brainstorming session and we landed on people of Maha. So we are the people of many meanings, I guess. That's generally like the consensus for the name.
That's pretty cool. That's a great origin story. I love it. I was really hoping you guys wouldn't say like we put it in like a girl name generator and that's what came out.
Well,
But
we tried that. It didn't work very well.
No.
So we were like, okay, we need to try something else.
pretty cool. So how did you guys meet and what inspired you to kind of make your first song or like musical project?
Oh, we met accidentally. Both of them met in a school we used to go for lessons. And I played a gig with Mila. But I played guitar and I sang there. But I also told her I played drums. And she said she has a band with a Brazilian and asked me to play with them. And I was like, but I'm not any good. Like, are you sure you want that? And she was like, yeah, we can try.
Yeah, that's the very beginning. And just as the same as Alex played with Mila, Mila played with me in another gig because we were going to the school, and the cool stuff that they have here in Rock School is that they mix and match students for this concert, so you get some stage experience, you get to work with other musicians as well. So that's how we kind of start connecting. And I had worked with Mila like back in 2017. We played only one song together, but we're like, okay, do you want to play some gigs around town? And we thought maybe we should start a band. And do you know anybody that could play the drums? And then we found Alex, and that's where everything started. Back in 2018, we started the band.
2018. Oh wow, so you guys have been like almost 4 to 5 years together, right?
It will be 5 years in summer.
Yeah, and next summer it will be 5 years, so it's been a while.
And how would you summarize that experience with one word, like each of you?
Experimental.
That's a very experimental experience.
Experimental experience.
Experimental. Well, do you guys like trying new stuff and that's how kind of the vibe in the band is? Or is it just that it's something new and you're very excited to pursue it and see what comes out of it?
Oh, maybe both. It was new in the beginning, now we kind of got used to it. But also, we never really had an idea what style we want to play. We just wrote the music and like it turned out whatever it turned out to be.
Yeah, we can hear like the difference between the first song and the song now, and then sometimes we're like, okay, maybe the song doesn't go with the other ones because it end up becoming something very different, but it's part of this process of we start writing a song, we see where it goes, and if we like where it goes, we use it. If we don't, we save it for later maybe. But we never had to sit down and say like we are gonna be a band that sounds this way, or we're gonna be a band that uses this kind of like elements in the music. We're very much like, let's see where the music takes us, and that's how we've been working for the past years.
Let's see where the music takes us. That's a quote if I've ever heard one. That sounds great.
Thank you. I'm a lyricist, so I should know how to write a thing or two.
Okay, so which was the first song that you recorded together, and how did it go?
It was Let's Go to War. And when we were recording, it was really fun. It was our first ever song recorded in a
we didn't even go to a professional studio. We were recording like Alex recorded with her drum teacher at the time. Mila recorded the guitar part at the guitar teacher's room. And then I show up. I think I recorded also in a small room the vocals. And then we decided, okay, maybe we should at least record the vocals in a professional studio. So I went to re-record the vocals later on. It was very pieced together. I think it took like a year just to record, because we were going like, yeah, record this little bit here, record a little bit there, try to schedule here, try to schedule there. Now we need somebody to mix. It was very much all over the place the first time we recorded. And it's one of the songs we can't stand anymore because it's been 4 or 5 years of playing, but people still like it. Like, at least our friends usually say they like it. We're like, oh, that was a nightmare to do it. But it was a really fun experience. And then from then on, we changed it very much how we work with recording and everything. But that was the very first time, and it was all over the place.
All right. Would you indulge me? I would love to track kind of your musical evolution, and why don't we play the song a bit, and hopefully you don't cringe too much. Deal?
All right. That's all right.
Oh, that animation is good.
Yeah.
Let's go to war. That's quite the powerful statement. Like, how do 3 pretty ladies come up with "let's go to war"?
I was very pissed at Brazilian politics. Yes.
Oh, that's a great way to make a song.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
In the beginning, when we were singing this song, I was singing "Let's go to work."
Yeah, everybody would think that the song was "Let's Go to Work" for some reason. I guess my pronunciation wasn't the best, and I had to keep correcting people, and then release a lyric video just so they're sure what it is.
Maybe they just prefer to go to work.
Yeah, maybe people just prefer to go to work instead of war. That's alright. I understand.
Oh wow, let's go
Also,
to
it's not
work. Let's go
literal
to
war.
war. But
Yeah.
that's quite the question. Belif, would you go to war instead of going to work?
Nah, works fine. I think.
Well, it depends on what you work at.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. But that's something that for us was very important, like when we wrote, because it was fueled by the political situation in Brazil. It was during the elections in 2018 there. We kind of wanted not to be something like literal war, but we wanted to say if you believe in something and if you don't agree with what's going on, you should use your voice, right? You should fight against it. And that's also what we see in the lyric video, which for us was very important to show like people standing up like we are seeing right now during the bridge, during the, what's the word, the solo in the music video. Yeah. And so for us it was very important to say like, yeah, let's go to war, but it's not literal war, so much so that we never wanted to showcase a weapon in the lyric video or nothing alike, because we really wanted to pass this message. And it was unfortunate that then this year we had to face a literal war going on so nearby us, so we had to change the wording of the song a little bit. When singing live, we had to adjust it to, can I swear in here?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So instead of let's go to war, we would sing fuck you Putin during the choruses. So we had to adjust to make sure that the right message was getting through. So that was a first step for us, was the song, which was very political for some reason.
So I'm guessing you're not planning to go to Russia to perform there.
Oh, no, I don't think we would be welcome there. There are many videos online of us saying that.
That's pretty cool. I'm surprised to hear you guys took kind of this strong political message to your live performances. Was that met with mostly acceptance? Did you get funny looks? Like, what was the response to something like that?
Most excitement. I think people were yelling with us the fuck you Putin. They were very into it. So no, so far, no, nothing bad from it.
So if you reflect kind of on the musical journey, right, from songwriting to conceptualizing the music to performing it to recording it to getting on stage and kind of singing your hearts out, what excites each one of you the most, right? What gives you kind of, the itch? What scratches the itch?
I really love songwriting, and it's kind of therapeutic for me. It's something I discuss with my therapist every week, songwriting, and how it is a reflection of what's going on in the moment of my life, but nothing for me replaces the live performance of performing the actual words, of performing the actual music. The first time we ever performed like a full gig, I came out of the gig, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to be on stage and I want to be singing my heart out and I want to be interacting with people. So for me it was very much that first time, and I even talked to some friends. It was like after that first performance I pretty much know, okay, that's what I want for me, for myself, for my life.
For me, it's also a mix of expressing things that you might not be able to say in your everyday life, or you want to say something but you don't want to say it directly to somebody, or you don't want to converse with a person, but you want to like express your feelings, for example. And I think music is great for that, because you give enough information when you want to, and you can like say something subtle or say something that will make you feel like you expressed yourself, but not give the information to the people. And also the life, I don't know how to say it. Maybe the excitement when you see the crowd and you're going to play and there's the interaction between you and them, and it kind of makes you feel alive.
For me, I would say that it's the playing live, which nowadays I'm feeling more into just being on stage instead of being in the crowd. But the work outside of the stage, being as a manager, writing songs, mainly the music and the instruments. But yes, I feel like I just want to do that in my life, actually.
Yeah.
And not this other stuff.
If you compare Mila's performance on stage back on when we wrote Let's Go Tour and now, it's like night and day. I think you enjoy yourself way more on
Yes.
stage now as well.
Actually, I just want to step on the topic of live performance and wanted to ask, what's the craziest thing that has ever happened to you during a live performance?
We had the strings break, which is normal. We had guitars falling. We had Mila getting electrocuted by her guitar in the
Yes,
middle of a
4 times.
solo. We had Alex without pieces of a drum having to play without a snare.
bucket.
Yeah.
I almost forgot my guitar.
Yeah, Mila forgets a lot of things, it seems, including capos in the middle of the gig, and then you need to wait for her to leave the stage and go get it. So it happens. Yeah.
Okay, so no crazy fans jumping on stage yet, I guess?
Oh, we did have kids that almost broke the stage. So we did, because we were playing in a smaller town here in Bulgaria, I think in Chuprene.
Yes, Chuprene.
Yeah, and then there were loads of kids, and then we asked them like, do you want to come on stage for the last song, you know? And then they came, but then start all jumping together at the same time, and you could feel the stage like bouncing up and down, and I was like, oh my god. I mean middle of phrase was like, I see the stage bouncing with them as they jump. I really hope it stays up, and it did. But then the kids kept coming in the middle of the next songs, like a kid would pop up on stage out of nowhere, and then a parent would come and take the kid away, and then another kid would pop up on stage, and I was like, I'm not sure what's going on here. I hope everybody's safe. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
And kind of, going further into the topics, you guys have likely gone to festivals, have like also played with other bands. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about, are you guys well received? Is everything all right? Do you see any like weird stuff happening around you guys? Or is it just, oh, cool vibes?
Well, I guess we have different perspectives on that, the thing. I mean, we never had blatant, like, somebody telling us, like, you're a woman, we don't want you here. But we are in a massively, like, male-dominated field, right? Most of the bands, they are males, and people usually look at us, are you the only female band? Because I've never seen it before. I was like, no, there are others, yes, but we do get that quite a lot. So it shows the lack of female representation. And we do now and then get like a person trying to teach us how to use our own instruments when we're setting up or complain and stuff, and you're like, but yeah, I've been doing this for a while, and I mean, not by any means, I'm not the best musician in the world, but I know how to set up my instrument. It's okay. Let me do my thing here, you know. So we do get these now and then, but we never had like doors fully closed to us because we are female. But we do. There goes my dogs. But we do notice like hints here and there in some places.
Honestly, I was looking forward to kind of hearing that everything's all right and you haven't noticed it, but fuck.
Yeah, well, there is also the aspect that we play a different kind of rock, in the sense of we are 3 people, and our music nowadays, it uses so many instruments, we are simply not capable of playing them all on stage. So we learn how to use technology to our advantage. So one of our new songs, there is like a cello and a violin and a viola, and there is a full choir. We cannot do that by ourselves on stage while playing our own instruments, right? So we need to adapt, and we need to use technology to help us with these situations. So we do also face sometimes, not so much for being females, but for being a band that uses technology to help ourselves. So they're like, wait a second, you're not playing all instruments on stage. And then we can sense sometimes that people might think of us lesser musicians than whatever band comes with a guitar, a bassist, a drummer, a singer, and do all by themselves. But we do put so much work into making sure that our live gigs, they're good and they sound great, and we rehearse a lot for it. But just because we bring a couple of backtracks to fill out so the song actually seems like it was intended to be, so we did feel a bit of resistance in that part, actually.
Also, it's more trouble for the sound guy to work with this technology. Some people haven't used it before, so it was like, oh, you're making my life so hard sometimes.
Yeah. I was like, I just need an in-ear so I can hear what's going on, you know. And they're like, oh, but it's so much was like, oh, I'm sorry, but if I can do it, I know you can do as well, buddy. So there's always some resistance here and there, but we are managing, and we work our way around. We are very flexible, and it's nothing like a little comment here and there. It's not gonna knock us down. We're just gonna keep going and just say, it's okay, buddy. You stay there. We're gonna keep going our way.
I would even say that in the beginning it was lots harder to work with the tracks, without the tracks as well. But nowadays it's getting a bit easier and easier to use even the backing tracks.
Yeah,
especially if we have
we
the
play
in-ears.
to the click as well to make sure that everything like falls into place, and we rehearse so much. So in the past 6 weeks we've been rehearsing for our one concert where we released the new EP. So it's really a lot of work that goes into it, and we know how much we work for it. So sometimes to feel dismissed just because of that, it's a bit disheartening, but at the same time we're like, okay, let me show you how great that can be as well, using this kind of resources.
In the beginning, we kind of sucked because we were learning to play our instruments as we started playing live gigs. So you can imagine, like, the first gigs were like, there were troubles with timing, like the solos sounded horrible, a lot of things were out of tune.
Yeah.
So I imagine some people might have remembered that, and if I don't know, if they meet us again or something like that, they already have this prejudice because, well, you used to suck back then, so I don't think you've improved that much in just a couple of years.
Yeah, but we always find funny when we play live and people compliment us by saying, you really sound like the recording. I was like, well, we were the ones playing the recording. What do you mean we sound like the recording? Should I take that as a compliment? I'm not sure.
I mean, that's a compliment. Have you heard most of the Bulgarian bands, the recording versus the live performance? Because the live
It's fun.
performance usually
It's fun.
sucks.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, I'm with Belif on this one. We have had our fair share of bands where we've gotten quite impressive like demos, and we've gone to see them live, and it's been underwhelming to say the least. But I'm happy that you guys are being able to truly bring the sound of people of Maha to stage. So tell me, what is it like to suck on stage? It's probably kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
You don't know you suck when you suck.
Yeah.
Like, that's the saving grace, I guess.
The thing is, from very early, we noticed like, well, if we suck, but we pretend that everything's okay, most people won't notice. So we kept like, let's fake it until we make it, So from the very beginning, we focused on being like performers, and like, it's okay if you get that note wrong, but if you're jumping around having fun, the people in front of you, it's gonna jump around and it's gonna have fun as well. So that was something for us that we kind of focus since the beginning. Let's give a good performance. Let's also not just be people who focus so much on getting everything right and then look like Darvos, like trees on stage and don't move around. Yeah, so I guess for us it came hand in hand. So we noticed, okay, we are doing a little bit better on the performance in the beginning, but we kind of need to catch up with the techniques and with the playing as well. So, and it's been like 4 years and a half of improvement, and we never had a moment where we gave up and said like, yeah, let's take a break of a year and a half, of 2 years and come back. Even during the pandemic, we used the pandemic to record the first album, to finish those songs. So it's been a constant improvement in this 4 years. It's 4 years and a half. Oh my God. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I could even say, give an example. Once we played in Maze and I forgot my capo, and you wanted to sell me on stage.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, we had this little thing happen. Yeah, Mila in the middle of the song, it's looking for her capo, and I have the whole audience staring at us like, what's going on? It's like, it's time for the stand-up comedy going on stage. Let's still engage. Let's still make sure that people have a good experience, even though we have a little bit of fuck up here. So that was always important to us as well.
But also, you probably guys have like already some sort of minor following or quite large following, and I wager there's a lot of people that have been with you from kind of early days are coming back to kind of a more polished sound, to kind of a more improved performance. Do you get that kind of sense that you guys have improved? Do you see it based on your performance? Do you hear it from fans, etc., etc.?
Yeah, definitely. We start recording our rehearsals as well to kind of compare and to look back. Like we play the rehearsal as we would play on stage, and we record the audio, we record the video. We make sure like we spot the places where we need to improve. We are always open to feedback as well, and we know like from our friends that are musicians as well. Like when they give us feedback, we tend to listen. Of course, we have our own filter because we know what's important to us. And if we listen to everybody else, we are never going to please everybody. But definitely, we notice an improvement in ourselves from watching ourselves back then even. And from the people that talk to us as well.
Kind of speaking of fandom, would you guys indulge me in kind of playing your most viewed song on YouTube, which is Darling?
Let's go.
Would you guys be down to listen to that?
All right.
Sure.
All right.
They call me darling, I hear screams on the street. Don't call me crazy for leaving things I shouldn't keep. You never do it for me. I'm seeing someone who's ready to give up. Don't call me baby for saying things you wanna hear. You should have looked at me. Here now, me darling, I'll never say I do. Here now, me darling, I'll never say I do. Here now, me darling, oh, here now, me I had to be the one to walk away from what I feel. So I'm gonna stay, taking my chance to finish the
How many girlfriends can you have? That was
Exactly.
quite,
Right. You're like,
that
oh
was
man,
quite
come on.
ambitious, my guy.
Truly.
So, what was kind of the inspiration behind the song "Darling"? And I see you guys worked with kind of an outside director. What was kind of the feeling of hiring somebody to help you guys with the music video? Do you usually do them on your own? Talk to us a bit about it.
Yeah, so we do work with directors. I think the only video we did not work with somebody was for Let's Go to War, which Alex did all the drawings, Mila did the animation together with her. So that was a nightmare because it was our first time working such a thing, and also we all had day jobs that kind of needed to, and at the time also the girls were at university still, so it was a lot together. So we're like, okay, let's see how it goes to do a music video with a director. So this one we got together with Georgi to work with him, and it was quite an interesting experience to have for the first time somebody, and to see actually it ended up looking much better than we expected. For first music we were like, oh okay, it's not with the phone, it looks great. Yeah, and it was fun to work as well.
That sounds great. Talking to kind of, you guys mentioned that you have day jobs. What is kind of the vision for people of Maha going forward? Is that something you guys want to try and do full time? Is that something that you see actually becoming kind of your main source of income, or is it a passion that you just want to chase and develop in your own separate ways?
I would say that if I could, I would just quit my job and just do music. And that's, I think, everybody's dream, I would say. So I believe that's what I'm aiming for, to move my day job to be the band. And if I can add something else, it's welcome. Otherwise, band. Just band.
Alex just quit, so
Yeah. I made a step towards that.
yeah. I think very early on we had to sit down to talk like what are your priorities, because if for me it's just a hobby, but for Alex she wants to do that for her life, I'm clearly like holding her back because I'm not gonna give my 100%. So we did have this conversation at the very beginning, like where do we see ourselves going, and we all three agree like yeah, we want to do this for a living. So we've been working towards that. However, it is a big investment, so pretty much all the money we receive it's invested back on the music to make it grow, to for us to be able, are you okay there, for us to be able to reach that. So we also look at it as a kind of business as well. So we need investment, we need to put effort into it, and we are slowly but surely getting towards that and finding smarter ways to do things and finding a source of incomes to do things, so we don't need to put everything from our pocket. So this latest EP we worked with the National Fund of Culture to help us support it, and we are kind of in the process of okay, how can we make this happen. So definitely that is something that we aim for.
If three young ladies wanted to start a band and watch this episode for whatever goddamn reason, what would be your advice for them? Like, walk them through what it's like to have a band, the economics, the business side of it, and how you make money.
You really need to be smart about it. But the thing is, you won't know until you try. We spent loads of money on stuff that did not bring us anything back. But we tried, and then we learned from that and we moved on. And so we don't put money on that anymore. I think it's a lot of trial and error as you go. And there is also the factor that there is not one formula. If you follow this formula, you're going to become successful. You're going to become a great band, because we have bands who suck at playing but are very famous. We have bands that play very well, very tight, but are not as famous and cannot live off their earnings. So it really depends. I think you need to set your goal. That's important. So you know what you're working towards, and then start trying to see what works for you.
Just don't give up. That's my point. If it's hard, then at some point it will be easier, but until then it will be hard. Everybody knows that, so just don't give up.
Well, it's a lot like starting a business. You need to have a goal. You need to have an investor ideally, or to start making your own money, reinvesting and trying to grow from that. So there's also luck involved. Like you might get lucky and somebody important sees you, likes you, starts promoting you. You might do everything right and not succeed in the end. And I think that's one important thing to know. You risk a lot and there is no reward guaranteed.
Yeah, so if you're not up for that, if you're somebody who needs safety, security, maybe it's not the best thing for you, because we were our own investors. We are still our own investor. We would work our day jobs in order to finance the music. That's what we would do. That's still what we do until this day, And yeah, I think what Alex said is very important. Just like Mila said, don't give up. And if you love making music, do not stop making music. The more music you make, the better you get. The more material you have to promote yourself as well, the more material you have to put out there, and maybe playing in front of somebody who will notice you and who will be the right person. And it's something that we are focusing on now, because we started searching for places where the right people are to listen to us. So there are these things called showcase festivals that are not well known in Bulgaria. The very first Bulgarian one happened this year, which is pretty much people that work in the industry. They come, they give workshops, lectures, and then in the evenings you have bands from different places that play, and those are the people who are in the audience, the people that came to give the speeches. And that's what we are looking for right now. So we've been to Sweden now in August, playing in front of these people, and we got to show one of our songs to Sony executives to give it a listen, to give us feedback in one of our songs. So make sure what's your focus, set up like have this conversation that we had back then. What's the priority? Where do we want to go? Start trying, start playing right, start trying to play in front of the right people, like Alex said. Search for sources of income and don't give up. Keep going, because there will be loads of no, but you really need to push through them.
Oh wow, it's sounding like you really have to shovel a mountain of shit to just like get to somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow. All the more respect to you ladies for like doing your thing and really chasing after it. You mentioned that you have to have goals, so why don't you talk to us a little bit about what is the people of Maha's next goal? What is the next checkpoint? What's the next milestone?
Yeah, so we just released an EP, and that was a big thing for us to finish up. And in the process of writing this EP, we already wrote enough for a second one, so that's what we are working next. And we are really looking forward to playing not only in Bulgaria but outside of Bulgaria. So that's our goal for next year, to release the second EP and to get to play more outside of Bulgaria as well, to start searching for places also where our music is welcome, not only in Bulgaria but outside of it as well.
So you mentioned kind of the new EP, and I assume this last song that you guys released is from it, or am I wrong here?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
It's Heaven.
we talked a little bit about it. Is that a song that means a lot to the band? What was kind of the motivation going into it?
Oh, Heaven, it's kind of the song of this EP. The EP is called Lost Heaven, so it's kind of one of our favorite songs in this EP. And it was a song that we really enjoyed writing, we really enjoyed playing. And it's a song kind of dictated because when we wrote Heaven, we're like, oh, it would be cool to have orchestral instruments there, to be cool to have choir, so maybe this should be the focus for this EP, and then maybe this is the kind of producer we need to work with. So we went after Dobry Kisyov. He wrote for movies and theater, so like maybe that's the kind of person we need to be looking for to work with us for it. So it was kind of our North Star that kind of guided us of where to go with the sound of this EP.
Do we want to maybe play it and listen to
Yes.
the most recent
Yes,
sound
please.
of People of Maha? All right, let's go for it.
Church bells ring aloud, hear the city crying leaves. Another Sunday morning in my counterfeited peace. Give your body, mind, and soul. There's no shame unless you listen to the eyes around. Judge, jury, and executioner. I was told once that I was free to be myself but lose my way, and it was done for me. I'll take the power and you can keep your high ground. Just don't look down on me, and I can say, Heaven, listen to my prayer. I can hear your silence. Can you hear me pray? Heaven, listen to my prayer. I can hear your silence. Can you hear me pray?
That's quite powerful, and it definitely shows that your sound is evolving.
No, that was the goal. Thank you.
So you guys mentioned that you're releasing more music, that the EP is on the way, and that you are going to promote it real soon. So why don't you just take some time to kind of plug what's happening next with People of Maha? What should people expect from you? What's the roadmap going forward?
So this EP is out. It came out Friday 25th. with Heaven. So we released 2 singles before that, Raining Down, I Can Control Myself, and then the EP came out with 5 songs in total. And now we're going to take a little bit of a break, just to reset. It was a very busy year for us, and I need to go see my family. But next year we are back planning a tour in Bulgaria, possibly in the countries around here in Europe, and then you can expect even more new music next year.
All right, you love to hear it. You can expect even more new music. That's great. So, tell me, how can people that like what you do enjoy the music and generally want to learn more about People of Maha? Where can they find you? What can they do to support you?
You can follow us everywhere: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Just write People of Maha, and you can even enter our website, peopleofmaha.com. Thank God our name is free everywhere.
Yeah, that was a big thing of let's make sure People of Maha is free everywhere and all social medias, and the domain is free as well. So that was a big thing for it. Yeah. Yeah, and if you'd like to support, you can check Bandcamp and get the EP. Yeah, we are also very active on Instagram and TikTok lately. So if that's something you like.
We also have merch.
Oh yeah, we have merch. There you go. We have merch coming out. So if you would like a lovely People of Maha shirt or a tote bag, or I'm sure we have more stuff, I need to check. You can check also social media. It will be all over there. Pretty much I always say we're like cockroaches. You cannot get rid of us. We are everywhere and we spread. Like you thought you got rid of us, we pop up here again. So we are everywhere.
We don't bite, so you can always talk to us.
Oh,
you can
please.
write us everywhere. If somebody's not answering, write to the second person, then to that person, then
Yeah.
to the band's page.
Yeah, no, just
we're
right
everywhere.
now. Yeah, so generally we really like connection with the people when we see them. So feel free to come to the gigs and talk to us. We'd love to get to know you. And if you're a musician who would like to know a little bit more in depth of the work we do and how to get around, do not hesitate to contact us. We are happy to help. We do believe that the scene in Bulgaria needs to be more collaborative because we don't have a big scene, so we do need to support each other to create more structure for ourselves, to learn how copyright works and how to get royalties and how we can work together with other bands, to create this whole base, So we are very open to work with people and to help as we can. So if that's something that you're not sure, or that you're starting out and you don't know how exactly to start, or you don't know the logistics, or you don't know the finances, or you don't know the legalities, come to us. If we don't know an answer, we sure know who to ask for.
All right. So that's People of Maha. You heard from the ladies. Go check out their shit. It's pretty cool. Feel free to support the band if you have some extra resources. And if you just want to get in touch, they're like cockroaches. You can find them everywhere.